Good evening, you're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. He is Bollywood's bad boy, frequently in trouble with the law and frequently getting away with it. And yet, Salman Khan is adored by his friends and fans. They say he's a nice guy. He helps people. Subhash Ghai famously said recently that he's just a child. Yes, a 50-year-old child. Earlier this week, Salman got lucky again because the Rajasthan High Court acquitted him in 2 poaching cases in Rajasthan that go back 18 long years. One of the reasons was a key witness who had testified against him but then went missing and could not be cross-examined by the defense. That witness was Salman's driver at the time, Harish Dulani, who apparently couldn't be found by anyone until now. NDTV's Harsha Kumari Singh and our colleague Arun tracked down Dulani, who says he stands by every word that he told a magistrate all those years ago, that Salman did indeed shoot the deer.
Here have with me Harish Dulani, who was apparently the driver of that gypsy on the 26th and 28th of the nights that Salman Khan allegedly went poaching in 1998. And he had recorded his statements before the magistrate, and then subsequently he did not appear in court. So I have Harish Dulani with me. पहले let me ask him, Harish जी, आप अपना आइडेंटिटी बताएंगे, आप कौन हैं? आप कौन हो?
मेरा नाम हरीश दुलानी है, ड्राइवर हूँ मैं.
Ask the camera to zoom in on this. So this is Harish Kumar. He writes in his driving license Harish Kumar. हरीश जी, आप ये बताइए कि 1998 में जब ये पूरा प्रकरण हुआ, तब तो आपने मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने अपना बयान दिया, है ना? लेकिन उसके बाद में आप कोर्ट क्यों नहीं आए? क्या डर था, क्या दबाव था?
उसके बाद मेरे पिताजी को धमकी मिली. मैं कोर्ट में तो आता ही था. फिर पापा मम्मी को धमकी मिली तो मैं घबरा गया था. तो कुछ समय के लिए बाहर चला गया था मैं.
कहाँ चले गए थे आप?
बस मेरे मिलने वालों की ही गया.
इंडिया से बाहर गए थे क्या?
इंडिया से बाहर नहीं, जोधपुर में ही, मतलब जोधपुर के आसपास.
अच्छा,
इंडिया में ही मतलब.
तो आपने कभी पुलिस को बोला, क्योंकि आप एक तरह से सरकारी गवाह थे. रिमेंबर, ही वॉज अ गवर्नमेंट विटनेस. तो आप सरकारी गवाह थे इस केस में. आपने पुलिस को बोला कि मेरे को प्रोटेक्शन दे, सुरक्षा दे, ताकि आप अपनी गवाही दे सकें?
कोर्ट में बोला था पापा और हम गए थे. धमकियाँ मिली तो हमने बोला कि भाई हमारे को भाई जान का खतरा है वगैरह. तो फिर प्रोटेक्शन तो हमें मिला नहीं. दूसरे दिन भास्कर में छाप दिया गया भाई हरीश को पुलिस प्रोटेक्शन दिया गया. तो क्या मुझे मिला? नहीं मिला. कोई मेरे पास नहीं था.
अगर मिलता क्यों आप गवाही देते?
तो यही था. मैं तो गवाही देने तो मैं आ ही रहा था ना, और अभी भी आ ही रहा हूँ. पेश ही हो रहा हूँ मैं. भगोड़ा कहाँ पे हूँ?
Now let me just tell you how important is Harish Dulani as a witness. Now I have a copy of the court order with me. This is the court order that was issued on Monday, which acquitted Salman Khan. And in this court order, it's written clearly, in fact, a doubt is created as to whether Harish Dulani was an actual witness. In his statement, Harish Dulani attributed Salman Khan with multi-tasks of not only driving the gypsy but shooting the deer, getting down to cut the neck of the deer and then taking to the wheels again. ते घबराए हुए क्यों थे? आपने कोर्ट में जाके क्यों नहीं बोला जो आपने देखा था, जो आपने मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने बोला?
भाई मैंने तो 164 में जो बयान दे दिए पहले.
आप क्या अपने 164 के बयान पे कायम हो?
मैंने भाई 18 साल पहले यही तो बोला.
क्या बोला?
164 में बोला भाई जो मैं बोला. तो अब उसके बाद में तो मेरे पिताजी को धमका मिली तो मैं चला गया बाहर.
आपने मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने बोला था कि सलमान ने शिकार किया. आप उस बात पे कायम हो?
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल कायम है. जा ही रहे, इसीलिए तो जा ही रहे. हाँ, कुछ 1-2 पैसे चूक गया क्योंकि महीने में 20-25 दिन बाहर रहता हूँ. कुछ ये पास में कोई एक पुलिस वाला नहीं था, और रहते भी हम उस जगह थे. रात को कोई भी मेरा मर्डर करके चला जाए तो मैं किसके ऊपर भरोसा करूँ? तो मेरे पिताजी भी घबरा गए, बेटा तू जा.
नहीं, फिर भी मैं
मीडिया में गलत छापा.
ठीक है, मीडिया में गलत छापा. आप मीडिया में सही बता दो, आप सलमान खान के ड्राइवर थे?
सलमान खान के तो बिल्कुल थे साहब, तभी तो परेशान हूँ.
और जब आप उस रात को गए थे 26 और 28 को, आपने कुछ देखा? क्या देखा नहीं बताओ, पर आपने कुछ देखा?
बस मैं उसका ड्राइवर था और जो मुझे बोलना था मैंने 164 में बोल दिया.
गाड़ी कुछ
चलाते थे, मैं तो पीछे बैठा रहता था.
अच्छा,
जिप्सी वो खुद चलाते?
जैसे ही आप जिप्सी लेके पहुंचते थे वो खुद चलाते थे?
वो चलाते थे. उनको शौक है भाई, उस जैसी तो मैं भी नहीं चला सकता हूँ.
तेज चलाते थे?
मैं तो पीछे बैठा रहता हूँ.
the supposedly missing driver. You can watch that entire interview on our website, ndtv.com. Those were some key bits from it. Purva Joshipura, the CEO of PETA, joins us on the program tonight. Rana Ayub, senior journalist, Satish Manashinde, criminal lawyer, and Zafar Sareshwala also joining us on the program tonight. Purva Joshipura, when you hear what the driver is saying today, and you've been so angry about this acquittal already, what does it make you think?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry, is that better?
Yes, could you repeat yourself?
Sorry, I was saying that when you hear the testimony of this driver and you've already been so angry about the fact that this acquittal has happened by the High Court, what does it make you think?
Well, you know, this just indicates absolutely zero behavior. It's not hero behavior at all. You know, if you can't be a hero in real life, then why be a hero on screen? What's the point? If what the driver is saying is valid, it looks very, very poorly on Salman or whoever it was that was issuing these threats, but it also looks very poorly on the state, who are supposed to be protecting witnesses. This matter may still escalate to the Supreme Court, and so I hope that the evidence will be re-looked at and re-examined. And it's my understanding that there are actually still 2 cases pending in the Jodhpur court. That's what's been reported about the arms matter, about the legality of the weapon that was being held, and also about the killing of a black buck. So hopefully this man will be extended the protection he deserves, so that what he knows can be used here forward.
Mr. Manashinde, what does the emergence of the driver now, after all these years, say about the criminal justice system, about witness intimidation, and certainly about high-profile celebrity cases, where I'm afraid the impression is that the more powerful you are, the more likely you are to get away with it?
Well, first of all, this is a classic case of criminal justice system failing in our country, and particularly when such a big celebrity was before the court. The police as well as the judicial system should have taken enough caution to see that the witnesses are provided proper protection. And in this case, Harish has made a statement that he and his father, after they were issued threats, went to the court and complained to the court about the threats, and it was published in the newspapers that he has been given protection. But unfortunately, the state failed, and after he stopped appearing in the court, the judicial system also failed to get him back to court. They failed to trace him. They failed to get his location. They failed to take up the officers who were entitled to give protection to task. And this is a classic case where the witness protection program has failed in our country. Time and again, the Supreme Court has called upon the government to provide witness protection law and see that the witnesses do not get suborned, and provide proper care to see that the witnesses come to court. This has not happened. Secondly, when the matter was before the High Court has also taken it very lightly, that here was a case where the witness was produced in court, he recorded his statement, and in spite of that, he was not before the court when his cross-examination was due. In spite of that, the High Court made a glaring statement that the evidence of this witness cannot be considered. The High Court had power under Section 386 to have the case retried, have the case re-investigated, have the evidence recorded again. In spite of that, it has failed.
That's a very important point.
Now, the case that will ultimately reach the Supreme Court is, would be a one-page appeal that the government will have to file, that the witness who was not traced has now been traced. He has appeared before the investigating authorities, and therefore the matter should be sent back to the trial court for recording of evidence.
So can the Supreme Court do that? Can the Supreme Court ask for it to be tried all over again by the trial court?
It can. Under Section 386 Clause 2, the Supreme Court has all the powers, being, you see, if an acquittal has been turned down, the Supreme Court has the power to have the case retried, inquired into, and committed for trial to the lower court to record the evidence afresh and try him again. So
the story isn't over yet.
Khan
the story isn't over yet.
Made was futile.
Zafar Sareshwala, let me ask you.
pardon?
You know, I'm saying the story isn't over yet. Zafar Sareshwala, you know, unfortunately, this is sort of a deja vu when it comes to Salman Khan. You know, he gets involved in these high-profile legal battles where people and animals have lost their lives, and these cases drag on in court for years and years, 18 years in this case. Many believe it's a strategy that his lawyers have employed all these years to deliberately drag it out. And you know, it's a familiar pattern, Mr. Sareshwala, unfortunately, with stories of intimidation, of threats, of witnesses being bought. And, you know, the impression, therefore, is that he gets away with it. Mr. Sareshwala.
I mean, this is a gross injustice on Salman Khan. I mean, how can you say, you mean to say Salman dragged for 18 years? And is this the first case in India which has been dragging for 18 years? The Bombay blast case dragged for 22 years. Cases have been dragging in the courts for 30 years. Innocent people have been put in jail for 10 years on terror charges, and after 11 years, 10 years, courts acquit them. So is this happening for the first time? And how can you blame Salman Khan for that? And here is a court. A competent court has given a judgment. Do we need to question the wisdom of the judge?
What do you make of the witness's statement? What do you make of the driver's statement who says
listen to me.
He stands by his statement before the magistrate that Salman shot the deer and also slit its throat?
Now this is his word against Salman's word. So why has the honorable judge not accepted this man's? I mean, it is the duty of the judge to accept whether this statement is true or it is false.
Because,
are we going to make a
judgment?
judgment?
Because the man was threatened. He says he was threatened.
No.
Which is why he couldn't be cross-examined.
Now he's saying,
he recorded his statement before a magistrate.
He's saying, but are you questioning the wisdom of the honorable judge of the High Court?
Well, Mr. Manashinde
If people are not happy, then we have Supreme Court.
Certainly,
No,
but
no,
I'm asking you.
Well, Mr. Saroj bhai, you are a friend of mine. Saroj bhai, you are a friend of mine. I must tell you that in this case, when the witness did not appear before the trial court, the trial judge did not take adequate steps to trace this witness. The High Court was told that this witness failed to appear in the court for evidence. The High Court took no notice of it. High Court did not even ask upon the prosecution to try and trace and send the matter back to trial because his statement was recorded before a magistrate. This is a classic case where I would say that both the trial court and the High Court have miserably failed in rendering justice in a matter. Had the judges taken proper care to send the matter back to trial or trace the witness, I can understand. But to casually, deal with such a matter, I don't blame Salman or anybody, but I blame the judicial system, the criminal justice system in this case, having totally failed.
Rana, the point is...
And why is that only when rich are involved that witnesses
Okay, Mr. Sareshwala and then Rana,
turn away from the court, and when the poor are there,
Mr. Sareshwala, why wouldn't people think that Salman Khan gets away with it because he's rich, he's powerful, he's famous? Why does this keep happening to him? Why is he the poor guy, the nice guy, the child, as Subhash Ghai called him, the 50-year-old child?
Nidhi, just a point. If what Manashinde Saab is saying, if this is the lacunae, then we have Supreme Court. And maybe, as he said, Supreme Court can order retrial.
Supreme Court will send it back in one minute.
But why? They can do. So why are we putting blame on poor Salman Khan for this?
Okay, so Rana.
No, nobody is blaming Salman Khan. I am blaming the system. I am blaming the system, Mr. Sarojwala. I am blaming the system.
Okay, Rana, where do you stand on this? Do you think it's a tad unfair? Let me put on another hat and say that is it because he's Salman Khan that he faces a different kind of scrutiny, and that it is what Mr. Manashinde says, it's actually a failure of the system and not of Salman Khan?
You know, I was watching Mr. Zafar Sareshwala speak, and I was wondering. Zafar Saab is well justified because he's a friend of Salim Khan and Salman Khan. But at least, here is a man who runs away from a site of of an incident wherein he mows down people in Mumbai and he disappears, and so does his driver, and apparently the car is not driven by somebody else. And one fine day, I mean, if NDTV can track down a witness, I mean, how difficult is it for the state prosecuting agency to track down this witness? I mean, I completely agree with Satish Kumar Shinde for the first time, perhaps with this case, but I mean, I think we should just get done with this entire bit about Salman Khan being the child with the golden heart. I'm sorry, I think this child does not deserve our sympathy. I mean, it is because he is Salman Khan that he's 20 years or 10 years down the line, the case is still going on. Had it been somebody else, a man would have been tried and been behind bars this day. Here is a man whose case in the hit, I mean, whose hit and run case is still dragging on in court. We do not even know if he's going behind bars. Here is a man who gets acquitted in the Chinkara case. I mean, apparently the Chinkara shoots itself. I mean, what are we talking about? I think Salman Khan has been very, he has been given a very gracious and a very generous amount of time by the judiciary in this case, and I don't think any one of us should sympathize with Salman Khan. And I understand where Zafar Sareshwala is coming from, but I think he should also look at the humanitarian angle in this case. I mean, I was looking at the lawyer, I was looking at the witness in this case, and my heart goes out to that person. Here is Salman Khan who talks about being human and starts his entire merchandise about being Salman Khan. Where does his humanity go when he sees this witness?